You write an AutoHotkey script. You test it for hours. It runs flawlessly on your screen. But the moment you actually rely on it for real work, the target moves an inch, your script clicks empty space, and the entire process collapses. These failures usually aren't caused by bad logic. They're triggered by a bumped mouse, a slight change in monitor resolution, or a coworker's different desktop scaling. This is the risk of simulating human behavior. Sending raw keystrokes and scanning the screen for pixels is the fastest way to get started, but it results in a script that is inherently fragile. Programmatic automation takes the opposite approach. By using application APIs, COM objects, and underlying UI structures, the script operates invisibly, ignoring what is actually rendered on the screen. Moving toward professional-grade tools requires a specific shift, abandoning the ease of visual coding for the technical rigor of programmatic APIs. To evaluate your options, we use the Automation ROI Matrix. This chart provides a structural map for every method you can use to control a program in AutoHotkey. The horizontal axis tracks your upfront effort. This is the setup barrier. As you move right, you spend more time researching documentation and learning how the software's internal code is structured. The vertical axis tracks your payoff, execution reliability. Higher on the chart means the script is shifting from an easily interrupted macro into a bulletproof background process. Every available method, from finding an image to querying a database, occupies a specific tier on this board. Mapping these tiers shows you exactly when a 10-hour setup is a smarter investment than a 10-minute visual macro. Tier 1 is human imitation. This covers basic methods like image search, pixel search, and sending a sequence of tabs and enters to navigate a window. The advantage here is speed. You can deploy these for one-off tasks without needing to understand anything about the software's backend code. On the matrix, Tier 1 sits in the bottom left. It's easy to build, but it offers very little reliability. If a software update changes a button's color or you switch your system to a dark theme, a pixel-based search will fail immediately. These scripts also demand total control of your computer. If a notification pops up or you touch the keyboard while a sequence is running, the keys go to the wrong window and the automation derails. Using Tier 1 for permanent tools creates a maintenance trap where you have to constantly babysit the automation to ensure it finishes. Tier 2 is the UI bridge. This involves using accessibility libraries like UIA and ACC, or the native menu select commands. Instead of scanning pixels, these methods query the structural code of the application's graphical interface. This moves us toward the center of the matrix. You spend more effort learning how to read UI trees, but you gain stability. Because the script targets a button's structural ID rather than its appearance, it can still interact with its target, even if that button moves across the screen or changes color. However, Tier 2 is limited by Windows memory management. When you minimize a window, the operating system often stops rendering its graphical interface to save RAM, which can literally destroy the UI elements the script is trying to see. Since these methods are still tethered to the physical state of the UI, they can't achieve total background independence. Tier 3 is programmatic automation. This includes COM objects, REST APIs, WMI queries, and post-message commands. This tier has the steepest learning curve. You often have to research class structures, handle OAuth handshakes, and read through dense technical documentation before you write your first line of code. On the matrix, Tier 3 sits in the top right. It requires high effort to set up, but provides high reliability. The payoff is that you bypass the interface entirely. You are communicating directly with the software's backend code. This results in lightning-fast execution. The script isn't waiting for menus to drop down or windows to render. It is moving as fast as the processor allows. Most importantly, it runs invisibly. You can continue using your computer for other tasks while the script handles thousands of operations in the background. Mastering Tier 3 transforms a script from a brittle hack into a scalable tool that works consistently on any machine. Following a clear decision protocol prevents you from over-engineering a simple task or leaving a critical workflow vulnerable. It starts with scope. If the task is a one-time job strictly for your personal PC, take the fastest path. Using basic keystrokes for a 5-minute data entry task that you'll never repeat is the correct choice. But if the script will be shared with others or run daily as part of a core workflow, Tier 1 is no longer an option. At this point, you look for a backend API or COM object. If one exists, you build a Tier 3 connection. If not, you use Tier 2 to bridge the UI gap. The goal is to prioritize back-end APIs whenever longevity matters, saving visual methods only for the simplest, temporary tasks. AutoHotkey offers several different paths to solve a single problem, but the route that requires the least effort today often demands the most maintenance later. Stop trying to build a faster mechanical finger to click your screen. If you invest the time into learning API and COM structures, you can move past simply imitating a user and start actually commanding the machine.